friends. Welcome to Woke and Pretty. This is your girl Meera here with Min.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite time of the week. Okay, second favorite time. My favorite time is Am I the A-hole question. But we're doing some life advice because we've had some listeners write in. Because you trust your girls, and we're gonna give it to you. We're gonna tell you how it is. But before we get into our listener writing in, which is a very juicy, interesting thing that she is involved in, I wanted to read a Dear Abby note that was posted. If you're not familiar with Dear Abby, she dead, but her people, her relatives still keep the column going because it's so famous. It was a woman back in the day, and she used to answer in the newspaper basically life questions when people were stuck in a rock and a hard place. And I really this one because it's October, end of October. We're going into the Thanksgiving in the US. And it's a really stressful time of the year because we get into what's expected of us. And then Thanksgiving is usually, depending on the family, a crazy situation. And then you have Christmas, which is just the end of the year for a lot of people. If you're not in a good family situation, can be really tough. And I feel compelled to read this to Min and share my thoughts, but I want to hear Min's thoughts because we obviously both have very different experiences. So I think it'll be real good, guys. You ready? What do you think? Are you excited?
I am. I'm always excited about these.
Oh gosh, here we go. Dear Abby. Ooh, I like saying that. For the last 6 years, my partner and I have hosted family Thanksgiving dinners. I always spend more time and energy than I have to make it beautiful and successful. This year, I have neither the budget nor a desire for the stress. I made it known early that we wouldn't be hosting this year. Surprisingly, my little sister volunteered to host, and she sent an invitation to the usual crowd. The next day, she called me to tell me that although she would host, she couldn't possibly be expected to do all that work, and she told me to bring the turkey. Sorry. I act like I haven't read this yet, but clearly I get a chuckle out of it. And I'll tell you why later. Anyway, moving on. She said I was free to cook it at my place or come a bit early and cook it there. Shocked, I told her absolutely not, because avoiding this responsibility was the reason I'm not hosting. I was planning on bringing a side or dessert as is usual for guests, but not the main dish. She got mad and said I was ruining Thanksgiving. I feel a growing responsibility to help her out, even though I don't need the stress in my life right now. And I know once I start, I'll take control with her encouragement. She has no idea the amount of work that goes into this meal every year, and I think it will be a mess if I don't help her cook and prepare. Am I being selfish? No. Should I go early and teach her how to cook the turkey and do everything else for the sake of rescuing this dinner, which everyone has come to expect meets a certain standard? The thought is making me miserable, but I feel myself caving to my sister's tantrum. Not feeling thankful.
Not feeling thankful.
Not feeling thankful. Okay. Ooh. What do you think?
Meera, can I ask you something? Can I take you to the ballet, but can you put on the ballet?
You mean like me get up in a tutu and dance?
Correct.
Yeah, pass.
You can't host Thanksgiving dinner and then ask somebody else to bring the freaking turkey.
Wait, hold that thought.
Oh my God, is there an edit?
No, but I need to insert here at this exact comment that I knew you would say. I don't know if I told you this story, but a couple of years ago, my sister, who was visiting me, and my cousin was visiting me at the same time. We grew up in the same household, and my cousin had just moved into his house maybe the prior year. And he said, in the circle of me and my sister, even though they were in New York, they live in Florida, and he said, hey, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving this year? And she's, I don't know, wherever, because all my family lives in Florida. They're all 5 minutes from each other. They still cook a meal before they leave their house, but they always pick one place to go to. He said, oh, I want to host Thanksgiving. Do you guys want to come? And she said, oh, yeah, sure. And he said, okay, cool, bring the turkey. And she said, sure. And I'm sitting there in between them, and I just look up like crazy. And I was like, did you just invite her to your house for Thanksgiving and told her to bring the frickin' turkey? And then he started laughing because he knew it's ridiculous. How do you invite somebody to your house and tell them to bring a 25-pound turkey? What the heck?
Meera, she could have gone earlier and cooked it for that.
You know what? I have some things to say about this girl right here.
It's just the lack of an etiquette. What?
No, both the sisters here. We're all about the sister interaction in this show. Okay. The one who's writing it, first of all, you are a control freak because you're acting like if you go there, you're going to have to do everything else that's expected of you. You are putting that expectation on yourself. Because every time when I was reading this, she would put in parentheses, for instance, should I go early and teach her how to cook the turkey, parentheses, and do everything else? That's on you, honey. And you know you can't sit back and just watch your sister try to do something. Your sister asks you to help and bring the turkey. You could just say no, and she can get mad and just say, I'm sorry, whatever the reason is, and just leave it at that. But you're putting this guilt on yourself. And the fact that you think it's going to be ruined if you don't step in to save it, what the heck? You must be an older sister, honey. No offense to you men, but she must be an older sister coming in to save her little sister. Because the expectation of my Thanksgivings are so amazing, so nobody can possibly live up to it. No one's going to compare it. No one's going to care. They're just happy to be somewhere. It's just going to be different. I promise you. I promise you. That annoyed me, older sister. Secondly, that sister who decided to host, she wants the glory, and she probably is a screw up, which is why her older sister wants to swipe in and save the day. But she's also not really understanding. And for her to throw, that's my accent right there, throw a temper tantrum and be like, you're ruining Thanksgiving. That's a little dramatic. But also, you can't offer to host and not make a turkey. Girl, you know what you need to do? Buy an oven roaster, plug it in, and put the effing turkey in there. It will work. It will work. You don't got to do nothing but put it in there. I promise it'll work. That's called Google. You Google search. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
If I was a girl who wrote this in, go early, like an hour early, 2 hours early, and help her like put out the stuff and make it cute. Walk in with your dessert, walk in with your side, and be like, oh, how can I help? Do the thing, do that. But don't, no. And stop feeling guilty and stop obsessing over it. She obviously feels guilty for not hosting herself. Freak. Anyways, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this whole thing is effing like what? Who asked somebody to like
sisters have no filters. Plus she's always been doing it, so she feels like it's okay because oh, you're not doing the brunt of it anymore. I am, but can't you help me? Why would you offer if you need help?
Yeah, don't do it.
I don't ask my friends to help me with shit, but when they come over, if they offer, I know my best friend always offers. Now I tell her no, but okay, come over. But she offers. I don't. And when she comes, I don't give her anything to do.
Yeah. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't.
Telling you, it's older sister, little sister. I'm telling you, it has to be.
Oh Lordy,
you know it is. You think the older sister's gonna be like, "Huh, make me a turkey, younger sister"? Hell no. No,
I would because I can't cook a turkey and my sister can. But I also would have no problems like doing everything else. Here's the thing though, like you still can't host Thanksgiving dinner and ask somebody to bring over the fucking turkey.
That's number one. That's number one.
Good God.
I have to say this to the people in the back. When you are hosting Thanksgiving, you make the main dish. I am hosting a little Halloween get together at my house this weekend. My child wanted it. No one's invited but my friends because I don't want a bunch of kids running around. So I told him it's mommy's friends, but he can have his party / one friend, which is my friend's kid. I know it's selfish, but he's 3, so he'll get over it. And then later in life, I'll have to deal with his friends. So you think I'm asked, 2 of my friends offered to bring dishes. You think I'm asking them to bring the chicken or the salmon or the main dish? Girl, no. They can if they want to. But even if somebody told me I'm going to bring, so one of my friends said, I'm going to bring some chicken wings. Is that okay? I said, fine. I'm not going to make that the main dish. What if she changes her mind last minute? That's a lot of expectation. You will get her chicken wings and you will get my salmon, chicken wing, whatever I make. I was thinking salmon, oreganata for those who
You're going to host. This means you do basically everything. If
I'm hungry.
Your guests are bringing things like wine, dessert, appetizers at the absolute max. But yeah, if you're
unless it's your mom.
Oh yeah, because mamas go over and above.
My mom will bring a whole Trinidad menu up in this house because she's like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't cook it. So I will bring XYZ and it's like 5-10 things. And that's fine with me because I will have the American crap.
Of course.
Fine. That's okay. That's mom. That's
And
mom.
really, listen, this is the other thing too. When something like that happens and your mother's invited, you just know that you could tell her, don't worry about it, mom. Only bring a bottle of wine. The woman's not showing up with just a bottle of wine. I don't know about your mom, but my mom is definitely not showing up with just wine. She's showing up with a Mack truck. It's coming in with tons of food, plus wine, a keg even, really. But that's a very different mentality. Listen, my son had his graduation a couple of years ago. And we initially did my daughter's graduation at my place. And my son's graduation, we were going to do it at his dad's place. And I got a message from, we'll call her the stepmother. She was only dating him at the time. But she was like, we have no problems in hosting Malachi's post-graduation dinner at our place. And you can bring the Chinese food because that's what Malachi wanted, my son wanted, for his post-graduation dinner. We order Chinese food from this really particular place that we all love. And he asked if we could do it for his graduation dinner. I had no problems. But in my mind, I was honestly like, then why are you hosting? If I'm bringing over 98% of the, like, why are you hosting? Obviously, I did it because I'm his mother and I'm not going to let him not have the food that he wants for his post-Thanksgiving dinner. But really, in my head, I was like, why are you guys going out? You guys go pick up the Chinese food.
I said, how many people do you have to buy Chinese food for?
20?
Oh, damn. So what did they pay for? Just had it at their house?
Like some chip and dip.
What
and
the
like some crudité?
No. Is your ex cheap?
No, I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
I think she rules the house, if that's what you're asking me. Listen, you and I have had some pretty intimate conversations about certain aspects of my life. She's not my favorite person. I'm more happy that I no longer really have to deal with situations like that anymore. Let's leave it at that.
Your kids are older now, right?
Yeah. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy because if my children were younger and I had to, I don't want to say deal with her because those aren't the words I'm looking for, but if I had to have more interactions with her.
Yeah.
But because my kids are older and I basically don't have to have any interaction with her.
Yeah. They're adults now.
Yeah. I'm very happy.
Amazing. That's perfect.
And don't get me wrong. Like I have no problems in being friends with or accommodating even a little bit. Before my ex was with this woman, he was with another woman and her and I got along fine.
I think part of the problem is that you're beautiful and skinny and successful and confident.
Yeah.
That'll never go away. People will always have problems with you. I've come to realize this in life. You just can't win because we/you are a threat, even though you're not a threat.
And I know I say this often on our podcast, Meera, but if you are threatened or if you're insecure or if you are jealous, you need to investigate that. Because then you look ridiculous if you don't. Because if you don't understand why you are jealous, if it's because they're more successful, more beautiful, that's your insecurity, not mine.
So what you're saying is you're asking them to self-reflect and admit why they feel the way they do. That's a hard ask for many people who are in this situation because they're not that smart and not that open and don't want to change. The problem is they rather whack you than make friends with you. Leading into a really good segue into a very short, before we get to our user story, Dear Abby that I found.
Ooh.
Okay. Dear Abby, I recently left my boyfriend. He said he loved me, but I felt like a third wheel in our relationship. Wonder why. He had a female friend he was constantly borrowing money from, even though we both work. He also gave her relationship advice. They would bicker back and forth like 2-year-olds. And when we went to places, they made me ride in the back while they were having a conversation I was never part of. He also cut me off every time I talked. When I asked him why, he said I talked about dumb things. Was I wrong for walking away? Bitch, no. You should have ran the first time he put you in the back. Sorry.
Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
What if Greg had done that to you? Or Greg, sorry. What if Greg had done that to you?
It would have been Greg who? Are you kidding me?
No, right? How?
Even now being married, like when his family's here and stuff, I make them sit in the front. It's family.
Of course.
But most of people
but that's also
refuse.
like a respect to your elders.
Oh, or his sisters or whatever. But even
Right.
my mom, when she's driving me and Greg somewhere, she would prefer Greg to drive.
Of course.
If it's a route that because she's always putting me in the front while she sits with Axel in the back if we're in her car. And it's mainly because, one, she don't want to handle it. She don't want to sit next to her son-in-law, and she'd rather sit next to Axel, his grandma. She says, I get my time with my baby. So I get that. But if Greg's friend Nadia was visiting, who I like, she's married and all that stuff, and he puts me in the back, I'd be like, huh? And then if it happened one time, I'd be like, okay, that's strange. Okay. But it's already a put down, literally a put down. And then two, if he interrupts me when I'm talking and then he says I say dumb shit, MF, you peace out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is a bad relationship. Bad relationship. He has no respect is my number one thing. This person has no respect for you as a person. You are literally just a willing body that happens to be there. This person that he's bickering back and forth with, I don't care if they like each other or what their situation is. He's giving her relationship advice. Yeah, no. The way she should give him advice and be like, why are you treating your boo like this?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
A little bit. Yeah.
Get out of here. This girl has low self-confidence. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. One thing that my baby daddy did really was, my son must have been, he was young, like super young. I think he was still in a car seat. And I think one time he like looked at his dad and he was like, when do I get to sit in the front?
No.
And I remember the father of my kids being like, as long as your mother's around, never.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I don't care how long your legs get, Axel. I don't care how freaking tall you are. You could be 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Get your ass in the back.
Yeah.
Get your own car. Get your own car.
Yeah. But this should be the same for your intimate relationships. Like, dude, no man of mine is putting me in the back. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
What if your boo was like, hey, man, can you sit in the back? Because no, I'm not even going to do it because you're going to say something real bad if I say the scenario I just cooked up. I'm just saying, if you put anybody in the front or exes or whatever, and you had to sit in the back, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not sit in the back. I would just walk away. I'd be like, I'll meet you at the place. I will not.
Yeah, I'd be pulling out my phone, ordering an Uber and an Uber Black.
And that Uber Black will take me somewhere else, most likely at a bar, because I don't really want to meet you after you let me take the Uber.
No, I'm not sitting. No.
That's funny. All right.
Also, it's extremely so disrespectful.
First of all, we talked about sisters and the disrespect. We talked about this relationship and the disrespect. What's going on in our user world? What's the write-in that we got?
Okay. So this girl's been dating this guy for a little bit.
Wait, first, thank you for writing in. We really appreciate the comments. So keep it up. We love DM us your little comments, guys, or your scenarios. We will talk it to death.
Tear it apart.
We will tear it apart, and we will always be on your side. And if you're wrong, we'll tell you you're wrong. So
this is the perfect one.
What did our girl write us?
So this girl doesn't actually know this girl. So she broke up with this guy. This guy is now seeing an acquaintance of hers, but they have a mutual girlfriend, female friend.
Okay, wait. The girl who wrote in is dating someone.
No, broke up with this guy.
Okay. So our follower broke up with somebody. Okay. Start over.
Okay. Our follower broke up with a boy. Mm-hmm. The boy is now dating an acquaintance of hers. She doesn't really know this chick.
Okay.
She just knows of her, not really know her. But they have a mutual friend who knows them both.
Oh.
This mutual friend has told our writer, our listener, that this girl is dating her ex.
Okay.
And she's whatever, it's cool. We're not friends. It's a small town. Things happen. Right. So she made a comment to her now boyfriend saying, our listener has moved on and is dating somebody else, blah, blah, blah. And she had said, but it sounds like that this is going to end because the person that our listener is dating is probably on the rebound. Anyways, the listener doesn't really care about the comment that she made, but more in the sense that the girl's boyfriend had said, our listener isn't the kind of girl that you break up with if you can help it. Sounding like he's still in love with our listener.
So this girl's ex is dating someone who basically they have a mutual friend in common, and she was like, oh, that mutual friend who they used to date is not someone you break up with.
Mm.
Am I getting that straight?
She only heard it through the mutual friend. The mutual friend is like a lesser.
That girl's a haterade. That girl's a hater.
Hate.
That girl,
is
she cute?
Haterade.
Is she cute? I bet you not.
I bet
you know why? Because if you're cute and confident, you won't have those insecurities that you have to bash someone's ex. I will say my boyfriend, but if my boyfriend said something to me about how, oh, that's somebody I would never break up with, but they were broken up, obviously saying he wasn't the one that initiated the breakup. Okay, so that shows that maybe there's feelings there or maybe regrets or something. And how can I compete with that? So I would feel a certain way, but I wouldn't say things about that person's relationship that I have no idea about and be like, oh, it's never going to last. I would freaking want it to last. Go out of his range. I want him to know you're not available. Come on. But oh, hater.
In my mind, I probably would have broken up with this person because there are still feelings there. Like if I was this girl and somebody said that to me.
You're talking about a girl that should have confidence and self-esteem. If she were to make that comment, she clearly doesn't.
She clearly doesn't, obviously.
I'm going to tell you right now, you think I care about Greg's exes and what they look like? I know they don't look as good as me. I know they're not as good as me. And you know what? I do not care because I know I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Reason, right? They're exes for a reason. So it didn't work out for whatever reason that looks like.
No one wants your partner to pine over someone. And I guess that's always a fear. But at the same time, you don't know who I dated and who I'm pining. I'm not pining over anybody, but listen, we don't need to know. It's a need to know basis if they come in front of your face and you're encountering them. But if you don't, why is that person even a conversation?
Yeah.
The fact that the person was the conversation for him to even say that is a problem. Why you have her name in your mouth, honey?
You just said it earlier. You're talking to a woman who should be, who's very insecure. So we don't even know how this conversation had been brought up. But in my mind, if at this stage of my life, if somebody had said that to me, I would have been like, I think that we're done here.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need to work out some stuff.
But listen to Min and Meera. Listen to Min and Meera. We know what's up.
But jealousy.
And if we don't, we'll project it. Oh my God. I love these relationship questions.
I know. Our audience does too.
I feel like I should be an advice columnist or something. Although not everyone's.
Let's stop for a second. Guys, if you continue to write in, we will totally turn this podcast into a relationship.
Listen, I will answer every single dilemma you got. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Listen, guys, I'm good for the work dilemmas. I'm good for the relationship dilemmas. Let me tell you, your girl has dated. We have dated, and Min is dating. And we've been married.
Yes.
We got kids. We've been through it all. So we know what's up. And you know what? I will say this for the guy listeners out there, because I know we got a good percentage of guy listeners out there.
I know. We dove into our analytics.
Hi to my friend Steven, my one single guy that I know who is married with kids and listens to us. But the other guys that listen, what's up? What are you getting out of this? I'm glad you're getting out of it. Maybe you will. I know you will be a better man listening to us.
True. So true.
Do you come for the gossip? Do you come for the pretty? Do you come because we're smart as F and we got some life advice? I don't know. I would love to know. Write us in, DM us, let us know.
Yeah.
I want to know. For anyone listening, we want to hear from you. So please make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Woke Pretty Podcast. And if you want to see our faces, we're on YouTube. This whole episode is on YouTube. So you get the front row seat to see our reaction, because our reactions are very reactive.
Oh my God, they're so comical sometimes.
I know.
So comical. Or go watch the clips.
I know. Those social media, man.
Funny. So funny.
Yeah, but make sure you follow our podcast. Make sure you like our podcast and rate it. If you get the chance to rate it, we need those 5 stars, guys. We need your comments, and share this episode with somebody, because you know somebody who's insecure. What? Come on. All right. That's it for today's episode.
Those insecurities, would ya?
Listen, that's a whole podcast episode. That's a whole episode about insecurities. And if you want to build confidence, my individual podcast, Brown Girl Trending, there is a beautiful confidence episode that gives you tips on how to build your confidence. Someone messaged me today and told me they listened to it and they got so much out of it. And I was never always this confident. I was confident, but not like how I am now. It takes a certain big up to yourself to be like this. And that's cool. Like you got to do what you got to do, but listen to that.
Yeah.
Self-reflect, honey. Self-reflect.
True. The Brown Girl Trending podcast is, dude, I'm not saying it because I'm involved, but it's really good. Meera has stepped up her podcasting game.
If she does say so herself, the editing is flawless.
That's so good.
All right. That's it for today's episode. I hope you found some value in these life lessons, and we will check you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.